Hello, everyone, and welcome to the tried and true traditional first year reading at Washington College, featuring the writers who are in their first year here at the college. This is one of my favorite readings of the entire year because we get to celebrate the hope and potential and original creative work by our fabulous first year students who are probably a little bit nervous. So what I'm going to ask everyone to do right now is just to unmute your mics and give a big round of applause for our readers who have the bravery to read for you tonight. So go ahead and unmute and just make some noise.
Woo! Yeah. Woo!
That is the vibe that I was hoping that we could get for our fabulous readers. We're going to go in alphabetical order, and we have 7 or 8 readers for you this evening. And as Emma Campbell has said in the chat, y'all got this, okay? So first up to the mic is Maeve Demar. Maeve, take it away.
Hi, so my poem is called New Normal, and it starts with a quote by Misha Collins. I want to live in a world where the word normal is an insult. I got inspiration from that. Why is being normal so important to the world? After all, it's an illusion, an aggravation of differences. Cast upon us by the flag society unfolds. A statement of how we should act, no subtle inferences. The wrinkle in time is this. Society needs similarity and same to operate, but the great and remarkable happens at the edges. Without our edges, we become formless, stagnant, and dissolute. But our differences often drive wedges. Why let them determine how we act, what we wear, or who we should be? Isn't there wisdom, the wisdom of the crowd? Aren't we the crowd? Aren't we the part that determines the normal? What are we doing to ourselves? Normal is but a stepping stone to the new normal. Growth, development, and transform through differences. When all is said and done, and it's time to rest, lay your head on the comfort of the known and dream the possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Maeve, for helping us dream the possible. That was really lovely. Thank you. Next up is Jordan Hyde. Jordan, take it away.
Hi, so I have kind of 3 short things. And the first is a short poem called Temporary Interlude. When the world feels as though it is about to conquer me, I forget to breathe. As if my revoked breath, my compressed lungs will make me disappear. Like the world will forget I exist. I can only float with purpose if I remember that my existence is not a repetitive matriculation of breath, but thought. But where are the in-betweens, where I reconvene my intrusive thoughts to say thank you? That will suffice for now. Resume the optimism to say thank you. These affirmations are currently something we cannot live without. Refilter the hesitation to say thank you. We must normalize complacency in the midst of chaos. These are the moments that serve as the interlude between inhale and exhale. The second one is called Approaching. I know a girl who analyzes the conversations around her rather than deploying her own thoughts. She is like a sponge, constantly absorbing, empathizing, criticizing. I don't know how she hasn't overflown yet. She is so heavy, for sponges are only weightless when they have been squeezed, and she is fully aware of what vulnerability may succumb, intimacy. She will inquire about your well-being, and when the question is returned, she will flash her goofy smile to tell you that everything is going just fine. No one knows how she perpetuates this irrational fear of failure every day. They praise her for her motivation, her intelligence, not knowing she needs this approval to feel different. She is quickly figuring out that originality has already been achieved by everyone around her. There must be another way to reach creative liberation. And this is the same girl who lifts her face to the sky, closes her eyes, and breathes in breath after breath, hoping clarity will arrive with it, filling her lungs with a renewed purpose. She wants to think of things that have never been touched, and so she will have to continue to live on to see if she can spin a narrative off of future encounters, absorbing, empathizing, criticizing. And the third one is called Your Congratulations Feels Empty. An abundance of congratulations comes jarring at me left and right as I respectfully sit cross-legged in my designated plastic chair on a grass field that supposedly carries some sort of historical significance, all the while a man of supposed status speaks on where we have been and where we will go. His voice pulses largely with cliches, and I relish in them because they are half true. How we perceive ourselves, others, the world is ultimately left to the reality found in logic and the hope found in the imagination. Well, excuse me if I feel as though I have not warranted a congratulations just yet, for I'm distracted by the notion that this is merely me checking off a box in hopes of a congratulations. They say I'm destined for big things, but may I ask what these large endeavors will entail? Quite frankly, I do not believe everyone is supposed to do big things. I concur that the small things are equal in their prominence, just constantly overlooked. Graduation brings forth a specific type of transparency, and one that does not mix well with the glossy fake smile that delivers the redundant, "You did it." The truth of the matter is that I have no idea what I'm doing, and then again, who does? I see a world of wonder, but I think part of the wonder has been masked with generational differences. I want to be creative, passionate, and feel fulfilled, but I'm having that universal human experience, the annoyingly persistent realization that I am not original, certainly not special, and have nothing new to offer the environment that so readily consumes me. You can imagine where that leaves me, lost. And so I will start at square one with the rest of my fellow graduates as we figure out our collective purpose in this ever-changing atmosphere. And that is it.
Thank you very much, Jordan. I think it takes a lot to admit, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And that's, I think, often the first step. And then again, and who does? I love that you said that. Thank you very much. Next up to claim the mic is Faith Gerald. Faith, take it away.
Hi, I'll be reading my poem, Eyes. Your eyes are blue, oceans of salty tears that fell from the clouds due to the infinite darkness that loomed, as the fish below swim through murky green for just one sip of fresh water, only to drown in a brackish mimic. His oceans are dry, the sun shines through with golden beams, sprinkling the clouds with the purest light, ending the endless flow of precipitation as the fish dance with newfound legs, gifted to them by the luster, but his eyes are blue too. Thank you.
Thank you, Faith. That was really lovely. I love that imagery. Brought a little bit of light into our lives tonight. Thank you. Next up is Mackenzie Mcdonald.
I'm going to be reading the poem that I wrote called Infinite Darkness. I'm being dragged back into the hole I just managed to pull myself out of. Barely making it through the day, only looking forward to when the moon is awake so that I can sleep, hoping my dreams will hail me from reality just to be disappointed when all that encapsulates me is a dark nothingness, much like the one I feel when I'm awake. Funny metaphor, right? It's almost as if my mind won't let me rest, like my brain won't let me have one damn minute of peace. It doesn't matter if I'm awake or asleep. My subconscious wants me to feel like I am alone. But I'm not alone. I have a support system, so why am I trying to convince myself that I don't? My mind feels solace in the empty. No one can hurt me there except myself, and I have control over that. Maybe that's what this is about. Control. Maybe I'm so scared of losing it that I ended up doing exactly that. Maybe I'm finally too tired to continue running from the infinite darkness that is endlessly chasing me. I don't want to give up, but when the sky matches the color of that familiar hole, that is all that I can think about. Giving up. seeing that darkness for the rest of eternity, but finally feeling at peace, no longer allowing it to chase me, but finally embracing it. Maybe then my thoughts would stop screaming. Maybe my wrists would stop incessantly itching. Maybe I will feel something other than this aching numbness in my chest, the feeling that only seems to go away when I'm panicked or high. I'm so tired of feeling like a stranger in my own body, of feeling hopeless, worthless, lost. I want to go to bed excited for the next day, not scared that it will be just like the rest. I want out of this immense darkness that encompasses my entire being. I am tired of aching. I am tired of itching. I'm tired of thinking. I'm tired of running. I just want to be at peace.
Thank you, Mackenzie, for facing the darkness and talking about it and writing about it, reading about it so beautifully too. I think that writers have to do that and it serves a really important purpose in the world, a very worthwhile purpose to help other people face the darkness, because we all face it. We all face it. And we can't see the light that Faith writes about without facing the darkness that you've written about, Mackenzie. So thank you. That was really brave and really moving. Next up to take the mic is Natalie Martinitis. Natalie?
Hello, I'll be reading an excerpt from my novel Demons. Just some quick background for you. This is a sequel novel to my book Elliot's Story, which is based around a government organization called PSO, which runs an experiment on children. Each division of the experiment has a leader, and the main character of this novel, Martin, is a division leader. I was on a walk in the park, as I sometimes did to clear my head, when I saw this girl standing at an easel in the middle of the basketball court. There were people yelling at her to move, some kicking the easel, but she didn't seem to notice. She was painting. Nothing else seemed to matter. Her pale, freckled arms were covered in all colors of paint, from the palest pink to the richest brown. Her hair was down and was long, reaching to her waist. It was straight and strawberry blonde, almost red. Her eyes did not leave her canvas, so I could not see what color they were, but I was enamored, and not just by her beauty. Never had I seen a person so carefree about anything. I envied her blithe approach to it all. I wished I could be more like that. I was too nervous to approach her that time. The second time I saw her, I was after a meeting at PSO. I had to go through a year's worth of training before I could even meet my experimentees. And after each meeting, I would have to go home and study for the next day. It was quite taxing on my brain, and I frequently went to my grandmother for help. It was only after the first month as an employee of PSO that I moved into my own apartment, and even then, it was very close to dear grandma's house. Anyway, I had just come home and wanted to clear my head before I started studying for my quiz the next day on the subject of Mars, and I headed for the park once more. And there she was. I didn't know her name at the time, but she was at the basketball court again, still covered in paint, still oblivious to the shouts and angry words around her. I watched from behind a tree, fascinated by the scene. I watched her sketch thick lines on the paper before adding paint to them. She was quite good. The people eventually dissipated, and she was left alone in the middle of the court. I didn't move from my spot behind the tree, and I watched her careful hands sketch and paint. It was only after about 10 minutes of this careful observance that I knew what she was sketching. It was a field of trees, but behind one of the trees was a figure, popping out very shyly. The figure had dark hair and large eyes and a curious expression, and the figure was me. I was so terrified by the prospect that she noticed me that I backed up a few steps, accidentally stepping on a branch. As if on cue, the girl held up her hand and stopped painting. Then her voice came, sweet and calm, almost full of a little laugh. "You've been watching me for some time," she said, her back still to me. Thankfully, everyone had left the general area, and no one seemed to be paying us any attention, and didn't stop my cheeks from blooming red. "I thought I should tell you I noticed," she added, though it was kind. Then she turned her face toward me and froze, feeling every part of my face burn and my body collapse in on itself, as if giving myself a hug from the cold, even though it was mild outside. When she faced me this way, I finally could see the color of her eyes, and they were not one color at all. Rather, they were many colors, from brown to blue to green, all swirling in one iris. It was quite unnerving to someone like me. "So sorry," I tried to say, and I felt my words get stuck together as they had in childhood. Don't be, she said, tipping her head to the side, studying me. Is there something you wish to tell me? I took a few more steps back, getting ready to bolt, but then she was walking toward me, and I was completely and utterly frozen into place, my brain not allowing my body to move. I began to shake with some unknown fear. I didn't know how to talk to other people, much less a girl who was the prettiest I had ever seen, and was so carefree and my exact opposite. She came within 2 steps of me, her long hair flowing behind her and blowing gently in the light breeze, her multicolored eyes studying me like I was going to be the subject of her next painting, too. You're awfully shy, she said, and she sounded as if she were speaking to a baby deer. I didn't mean to scare you away. What's your name? Martin, I stammered. I couldn't find my practice words. Martin, she said, smiling warmly. I thought I liked the way she said my name. Well, Martin, it's very nice to meet you. She held out her hand. I'm Kelly.
Thank you very much, Natalie, for confirming what I always knew, that people have eyes in the back of their head. Really, that was really lovely, imaginative. I can't wait to see where that story goes. Next up is Ryan Morrow. Ryan, please take the mic.
So I'm reading a poem that I wrote called Love Language. Best friend, let me meet you at the rock bottom. Together we can catalog all the shiny stones we find. Let's take off our shoes, feel the pebbles on our soles, and I'll remind you, rough as these rocks may be, this is what we build our houses from. If we put our heads together, we can make a strong enough foundation that this castle will last, that the pillow fort walls we build will protect our poems from this cruel world of make-believe. And I can say with confidence that if we were to imagine ourselves Neverland today, I would not complain. Thanks to you, I know what forever means. The way you never judge my jokes or my inability to end a poem before it gets too long and rambly, and thanks. And dude, not to be gay, but like, I want to pick you flowers because you are deserving of beautiful things. So long live you, you beautiful thing. Long live your 9th grade poetry phase. Long live your chameleon colored hair, however short it may be. Long live every part of you you wish would die quietly. Every closet that has played host to a panic attack, every shoulder you wish you could unsoak the tears from, these are holy grounds. You fixer of everyone else's tattered things. I know your heart looks an awful lot like your favorite jacket. A lot of patches cover the holes you cut to mend other people's broken. This is not to say that your divinity is in your worst moments. This is to say that your worst moments are the fire in the belly of the kiln, and you have not yet shattered. That's all.
What a great ending that is. And I can say that because I am very gay. No, I had to make the joke. But no, thank you. That was really lovely. I love that line too. Like, I know what forever is because of you. Those are really, really strong lines, Ryan. Thank you very much for reading that. Next up is Iris Scher. Take the mic, Iris.
Hi, so I wrote a poem called Father. Why do the elderly not have to kneel in your house? They turn their heads at me like owls. Why do I always have to wear a dress in your house? I cross my legs. Don't let the priest see your underwear, the elderly say. Loving you is like being a petal plucked by strangers in your house. He loves you not, the elderly say to me. I think I don't like wearing dresses, but you say, in my house you will. Cross my legs, cross my body, crucify my heart. My grandpa kept part of your son's cross on his deathbed and cradled it instead of my hand, but I am an orphan, and you are no parent of mine. Like father, like son, like daughter, the white sheep are leading, black lambs to slaughter. I ask you, when has the white man ever been crucified? I'm tired of counting sheep and waiting for the elderly to fall asleep. They say I am a sinner and then ask me to stay. I won't, because I worry that one day I will grow old too.
Thank you very much, Iris. That really shows how poets and writers are the dreamers of new worlds, right? We make up better stuff where it's easier to breathe. Thank you very much for writing that. And our next writer up to the mic is also closing out the show. So Adelaide West, you are up.
Awesome. You guys can hear me okay? Cool. So I wasn't entirely sure what to read, so I have 3 poems, maybe, it'll see based on timing. And they're all gay because I didn't know what else to do. The first 2 actually are for one of my girlfriends who's been with me through a lot. Sleepless nights, terrified calls, shields and statues, raised baton. Firework in aerosol, cuffs in seat of plastic, elevator hand held tight, symphony of pain and longing, love and calm bleeds trauma's curse, we watch magic heroin will fit perfectly together. Morning hair and peaceful slumber, my love for you never expires. You held my hand in first worn skirt and pulled me back in heat of night. My fire burns eternal more. I love you, dear, my now forever. Soft glow radiates on your dimpled skin. My hair is caught, yet just, can you move a little bit under your arm? Thank you. I love you. We kiss. The soft noise is oppressive. It's a calmness in these moments, a simplicity that doesn't exist outside of here or bed. We talk about our future that we know we'll never get. No, not like that. It's just, you've seen the weather. The sound of battle, rated PG-13 for fantasy violence, continues. We're going to win in the end. It's our theme, our mantra that we keep. It's hard to keep fighting when the future is so uncertain. I never want to imply that I don't believe in us. To the contrary, really, I think we're stronger than we think. And honestly, all I'm trying to tell you is that no matter what, I've got your back. In these moments of calm, they keep me going. We must be strong. We'll keep fighting onward. And the last one is for my other lovely girlfriend. I wrote this on my refrigerator with the little magnets. Venus, my galaxy. Goddess of my pleasure, your flower hands dance between my broken lives. Linger on, desire sweet. Devour fire from honey touch. Ask forever of every blaze and exult through wave of nectar taste. My joy is you, the universe. Come morning dark when sky meets star. Ripple pure to you, the evening ocean. Kiss my neck and explore rose love. I your moon and you my fever cry. Thank you.
Thank you, Adelaide. And we will win in the end, especially when we have voices like yours leading us forward. Can I ask all of us to please go ahead and unmute and make some noise for our readers tonight? It's really lovely. I wish I had the talent and poise that you all have at the beginnings of your writing careers when I was your age, 5 or 6 years ago. Anyway, thank you all very much for reading tonight. I know it's hard to share your work. First of all, to create it, to face the sort of abyss and darkness that we've heard about, and then to create something, to imagine something new, and then to share it with perfect strangers. Even as supportive as these strangers are, I know it's difficult, and you all were very brave and wonderful tonight. I take a lot of heart from you. So thank you all for coming to the first year reading. Our next reading will be next year. So wish everyone, a great holiday season and a perfect end of the semester. Pray for us all. Thank you all very much. And this will be on YouTube shortly, so you can revisit as well. All right, everyone have a wonderful, safe evening, and I hope our paths cross soon. Good night.